Hey guys, how you guys doing? Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Tino and I'm back with another video. Today's video we are going to be talking about honey. And when I say honey, I mean honey bomb fragrances for the fall. If you guys are interested in seeing my spicy bomb fragrances and my cherry fragrances, I will link them down in the description bar for you guys that are interested in that content. When it comes to fall, I think about sweet things and I always think about honey. Honey is one of the notes that I love the most in my fragrance collection, and I have quite a bit. Out of the 30 or so that I have, these are the ones that are really speaking out to me and the ones that I recommend if you're looking for that special honey bomb fragrance for the fall and winter. Before I go ahead and continue with this video, if you are new to my channel, you just click my thumbnail and you're wondering who I am. My name is Tino. I'm a lover of fragrance, beauty, and lifestyle. If that's the kind of content that you do like, please consider subscribing to this channel. And if at the end you do enjoy this video, please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Let YouTube know that you love my content. My fragrance of the day happens to be Halwa Kiss by Ojar. This fragrance, we're going to talk about it a whole lot more because it's part of the fragrances that I'm recommending for fall. Please drop your fragrance of the day. You guys know I love to know what you're smelling like. If you guys are interested in seeing my favorite honey fragrances for fall and winter, then please keep on watching. Starting off, I'm going to be talking about Bright Peach from Maison Alhambra. If you guys don't know, Maison Alhambra is a sister brand to Lattafa. When they initially came out with this fragrance, they got a lot of flack and a lot of threats from the original brand maker, which is Tom Ford. And now they've came out with new fragrances in a different bottle, but they're dupes. The juice is the same and the notes are the same, but the bottle is different from this bottle that I'm holding. So I was lucky enough to get the original fragrance in this bottle. Now it's in a clear bottle, but I will link where you can purchase this fragrance in the new bottle. Now this fragrance, of course, if you guys can tell by looking at this fragrance, is a dupe to Tom Ford's Bitter Peach. And I have sampled that fragrance, and when I tell you guys, it's a one-to-one dupe. This fragrance is amazing, and probably that's why Tom Ford is trying to give Lattafa and Maison Alhambra a run for their money. They came out with this fragrance and it's a dead-on dupe to a $400 fragrance, and this is a full-size bottle, imagine. And I think I only spent 35 or 40 bucks for this fragrance. For the smell, when I tell you, this is a true peach, blood orange, ooh. And the honey and the dry down is all that matters when it comes to this fragrance. This fragrance is boozy. I believe it has a cognac or a rum to it, but it's a boozy fragrance. It's even way more stronger than it was when I first got it. The peach almost is syrupy. That blood orange gives it a slight citrus feel, and then you do get some greenness. It's just a slight greenness because it does have some green leaves added to it. This is a honey bomb peach fragrance. I absolutely adore this fragrance. It's very uber strong. When it comes to projection, it can blow Tom Ford's fragrance out the water. This projects like no other. For the first 3 hours, you're getting a lot of projection, and then it dies down to a moderate projection, and then you're leaving a sillage. When people smell the scent you left in the room, they will be wanting to know what you have on, because the scent is sexy, fruity, sweet, yummy fragrance. That boozy note is what makes this fragrance really sexy. This is one of my favorite fragrances, and because of this I would never think about purchasing Tom Ford's Bitter Peach, because I have something way better that actually is long lasting. And I've actually had people stop me and ask me if I was wearing Tom Ford's Bitter Peach. One lady stopped me and actually wrote down the fragrance and wanted to get it because she paid for Tom Ford's Bitter Peach and she said it does not last a lick. This fragrance lasts a good 8 to 9 hours. on skin. On clothes, even more. So I gave her this fragrance and she thanked me. She was like, oh my God, I'm going to save my money. I was so glad I was able to help someone out so they can spend money on a quality fragrance. I love it and I recommend it if you can get your hands on it. Next fragrance is Tiziana Terenzi's Deluxe. Now, this fragrance has been in my collection. It's one of my oldest Tiziana Terenzi's and probably the first one I ever purchased based off of the notes that I found on Fragrantica. When I got this fragrance, it was a love at first sniff. You get that coffee, you get the powderiness of this fragrance, that rose is in there, and the honey in the dry down is all that really matters to me. So this fragrance is beast mode. Do not do more than 3 sprays because you will be sorry and you will choke on this fragrance. But notwithstanding, this fragrance is a beautiful fragrance. It has a really beautiful iris that gives it somewhat of a powderiness that's just gorgeous. It's just, and that coffee is a sweet, yummy coffee, and I think it's because of that honey that's in there. Tiziana Terenzi is famous for musks. Almost all their fragrance has musk in it, and a lot of people can't take it. They can't take it. But I love their musk, and I love the way they do their fragrances. They're very unique and complex, and you don't smell like something else I own in my collection. So this one starts off with that coffee in the beginning, and when it dries down, you ultimately get that vanilla. I think there is somewhat of a sandalwood or a cedar to this fragrance. There's some amber for sure. I can smell the amber. If you're looking for a more elevated honey fragrance that will stand out in the cold and in the fall, get this fragrance. It's really cheap. I know Tiziana Terenzi perfumes are quite expensive, but let me tell you, you can get this under $100 on Jomo Shop. I believe either $100 or $89.99. I will link it down below. So I think this is a good fragrance that'll be great for Christmas, Thanksgiving. All in all, it's a beautiful fragrance. I really do recommend it. Here is another fragrance that I'm absolutely obsessed with. If you're looking for a fresh honey kind of fragrance with a little bit of spicy edge to it, this is a Jimmy Choo Illicit. This fragrance starts off with a very citrusy, spicy top with that ginger and orange. And then when you get to the mid, you're getting a little bit of that jasmine, some rose, and then in the dry down, you get that sweetness from the honey, the amber, and then you get caramel. Caramel also is very sweet. This fragrance is underrated. I don't see too many people talk about it, and I don't understand why. It's a beautiful, phenomenal fragrance. It is something that is just a clean girl aesthetic kind of fragrance with a little sprinkle of honey. I feel like not a lot of people talk about it. I don't understand why, because ultimately it's a beautiful fragrance. It is just a different kind of honey scent. It is not deep and dark like the ones that I talked about prior to this, but it's more of an ozonic, fresh, sweet kind of fragrance. This is great for office wear. It's great for everyday wear. So if you're looking for a honey fragrance that will be great for work, this will be the best bet to get. It's not super projecting. It projects moderately. The sillage, I would say, is more moderate than beast mode, and I feel like the longevity is where the fragrance shines. It actually lasts for a good 8 to 9 hours. I like it, and I need to pull this out again because this would be very great to wear to the gym. It would be great to run errands. It would be great to go to work with, and nobody will be offended by this fragrance. Next fragrance I'm going to talk about is from Thameen. It is called Bravi. Bravi is another citrus forward honey bomb fragrance. Now this one is different from Illicit. Is that fragrance that makes you roll your eyes to the back of your head. That's what I'm trying to get at. It is just a beautiful scent. It has tuberose. It has some walnut milk. There is something latonic about this fragrance, and then you get tobacco. The tobacco in here is not crazy. It's not going to overwhelm the fragrance. It's not super smoky. It's just a little bit of spiciness with that tobacco. Now this fragrance is a compliment magnet. When I tell you, every time I wear this, I always get chased down the street. Probably because this fragrance is unique. Like, I've never smelled this on anybody. I've never came across this fragrance. I literally was looking for a honey fragrance and I picked it up and I did not regret. I suggest that if you're looking for this fragrance, sample before you buy, because it is not buy safe. And the reason why is because you might find it a little bit different, a little bit complex. Is it unique? Yes, it is. Is it groundbreaking? Yes, it is. Have you smelt this before? No, you haven't. And that's why I said you need to get your nose on it before you buy. This fragrance exudes sexiness. I just can't talk about it enough. It makes me speechless how good this fragrance is. I mean, if you smell it, you understand what I'm talking about. It's just that good. The longevity on this is forever. I can't really concretely tell you how long it is, because after a work day, I still smell this. It just never goes away. Even after a shower, that fragrance is still there. It's still there in the air. I still get wafts of it. I'm literally still leaving scent bubbles everywhere I go. That's how strong this fragrance is. I find it that if I overspray this fragrance, I don't choke myself out. Unlike some other fragrances that are beast mode, like for instance, Bianco Latte, I would literally be coughing like a mug, like coughing forever. With this one, I sprayed 10 sprays and I was fine. It's just a very appealing scent to the nose and to everyone else. I love it, and I do recommend it if you're looking for another citrus forward honey fragrance that is very unique and outstanding. Speaking of unique and outstanding, Halwa Kiss is another contender, okay? This is Halwa Kiss from Ojar. Now, this fragrance opens up with some nutty goodness, and it has a pistachio note that gives it that nutty vibe. And then it also has cardamom. I don't know what it is with cardamom. I love it when it's mixed with sweet notes, because it kind of gives that sweetness a more spicy edge to it. And then you get that beautiful honey with dates. And I'm gonna come out with a dates video, but I will not feature this in there. This is more for the honey, because the honey is very prominent in this fragrance. Even though this fragrance has dates, you get the honey more stronger when it comes to that scent. And then it has other nut facets in there. I don't know if it's peanuts, but it does have a roasted nut accord. Oh God, you guys need to get your nose on this. So if you're a person that's into blind buying and you love honey, I would say go ahead and get this one. If you're just still venturing into honey fragrances and you're not sure what you really like, I would suggest trying this fragrance before you buy. It is a very appealing scent. It smells really amazing, but you will be off-put when you smell this. When it comes to niche fragrances, sometimes they can be kind of, you know, too out there. I know niche brands try to make their fragrances very unique, but sometimes they might go overboard. With this one, it's very unique. It has a sesame note. Have you ever had a sesame note in a fragrance? You do get some kind of floral note to this. I believe there's a floral note, but I'm not sure what it is, but there's something flowery in this. But ultimately, I love this fragrance. It's just a classy honey fragrance without the honey being over the top. So this is honey where it's not too sweet. It's sweet, but not crazy sweet or syrupy sweet like some of the ones that I'm going to show you very soon. We're going to get down to those sweet, syrupy, yummy honey fragrances. But all in all, this one has a great projection. When it comes to projection, sillage, oh my God, it's beast mode. A scent bubble will be traveling everywhere you go. So wherever you go, people will be able to smell your scent trail, and they'll be wondering who smells that good. But ultimately, this is a great fragrance, and I do recommend it for fall. Now let's talk about an inexpensive fragrance. This is Shaghaf Oud Asraq. This is a honey oud, spicy cinnamon, vanilla fragrance. Oh my God, this one is just beast mode. When I say beast mode with me. This is beast mode. Oh my God, it is so strong, but when it dries down, you get that honey and that oud. Now the oud in here, it's a little bit barnyardy. Trust the process. You will like it when it dries completely down, like when the fragrance pretty much is no longer showing on your skin. Now, the thing that's in there that people might be off-putted with is the patchouli. Patchouli is there and it's here to stay. It's not there just a little, it's there in the dry down. So you will get that patchouli and the leather. The leather kind of gives this fragrance an animalic feel. You will get that leather really strongly. The leather is there and it's present. It's not just a light sprinkle of leather, it's like there. This fragrance is for those daredevils, those ones that love their fragrance, they love the oud, they love the patchouli, they love the leather, and they love something sweet with it. So if you're that kind of person and you're that person that is an extrovert that loves to announce their fragrance when they walk in, that's pretty much what it does. Get this fragrance. You will not be sorry. And I'm pretty sure some people that watching this video already have this fragrance, so you know who you are. You are that baddie. You're that girl that literally wants to walk into the room and command presence and make their fragrance be known. This is the kind of reaction you get when you walk in the room, and I've gotten when I walked in the room. Get yourself Shaghaf Oud Asraq. You will not be sorry. You will thank me later. Only if you're a daredevil, okay? Now, this is another honey fragrance that I absolutely adore. This is from Navitus Perfumes. This is Miel Extase. This is a collaboration with another YouTuber that talks about fragrance. She actually mostly does her videos in Spanish. I don't remember her name, but when I tell you this is the best so far, in terms of honey fragrance, this is the best I've tried so far. Shaghaf Oud Asraq is beast mode. This is beast mode times 10. When I say times 10, I mean it. This is a powdery violet type of honey fragrance. You do get some fruits with that dried fruit at the top and some apricot. And then there is some ginger in here. Of course, I love ginger when it comes to fragrance. You do get some caramel vibes from that toffee note in the dry down, and some dark chocolate. Can you guys envision that? That is so sexy. When I say this fragrance lasts, it lasts and it's projecting for 8 hours. I've never seen a fragrance do that. Most fragrances will project on beast mode for 3 hours and they're like a little mellow, a little moderate. But this one is just beast mode throughout. So when I say you only need 4 or 5 sprays of this, just keep it at that. Understand what I mean. It means that if you do more than 5 sprays, you're gonna kill yourself and all the 10 people that are around you. Okay? If you walk in the room, everyone's gonna be dropping like flies. But let me tell you, they'll be dropping like flies and smelling that beautiful fragrance. Longevity is 14 hours or more. I mean, I'm just telling you how long I had a work day wearing this fragrance. Not necessarily that it's 14 hours. It's probably beyond that. But let me tell you, I've washed clothes with this fragrance and they still have the scent on them. That's how bad this fragrance is. It's a baddie's fragrance. It's one of those, like I said, daredevil kind of fragrance. So you have to have that kind of personality to wear this fragrance. Is it blind buy safe? No, heck no. Get your nose on a sample, and if you like it, get the fragrance. I love it and I recommend it if you're looking for a unique take on honey fragrance for the fall. This fragrance is another fragrance that is beautiful. It is from Reminiscence and it's called Tonka. Now this is a little bit spicy honey fragrance. It has a little bit of nuttiness and I feel like there is a bitter almond note to this. Now this fragrance has some anise. I believe it has even cloves. Now this could have been a fragrance that I added to my spicy video that I did. I totally forgot how much I love this fragrance, and to me I get the honey more than the spicy notes. Now this fragrance is an EDT but functions like an EDP, so don't sleep on this. This is a great long-lasting fragrance for what it is. I can't believe that an EDT can perform like this. I've had EDTs that I know they're literally gonna perform 6 hours. Now this is a fragrance that performs for 10 hours. It is just a light, airy, fluffy version of honey with some vanilla, some tonka bean, and then you get a little bit of musk in the dry down. This is very beautiful, very tasteful, very elegant. Like if you want that fragrance that will be just light and airy and sweet on the skin, that is not going to kill somebody, like Miel Extase, definitely this is the one you need to get. So I really like it, and I feel like there's a time and a place to wear this. I could wear this to work and it would just be tasteful. People will not be bothered. People will like the smell. The people that I work with are my critics. They always tell me whether they like a fragrance or don't like. So that's how I'm able to come with these reviews and let you know how I feel about a fragrance, because it's not easy to walk around the street and expect somebody to give you a compliment. But at work, I get all the compliments, right? I love this and I do recommend this for fall. It's an amazing fall fragrance. Next fragrance is an absolutely phenomenal lavender honey tobacco fragrance. This is Naxos from Xerjoff. Now this happens to be, I believe, the first Xerjoff fragrance I ever got in my collection. I did not regret getting this fragrance. This fragrance is the best lavender combo I've ever smelled. And lavender for me tends to be a little masculine. It tends to be a men's note, but when it's done right, it could also work for females. When I say this lavender is done right, it is done right. So this fragrance has a little bit of aromatic vibes to it, especially with the lavender. It's very citrusy. It does have a lemon note in there and some bergamot. And then you do get that honey with the cinnamon. Now the cinnamon in here is not crazy. It's not super strong, but it is there. This is just a spicy, lemony, lavender, honey, vanilla fragrance. Tobacco leaf. The tobacco leaf is not super strong, so I like that because I do like tobacco, but I don't like it too much in a fragrance. But it's just a nice touch to the fragrance. It makes it more sexy, in my opinion, and more unique. There is a reason why this fragrance has been overly hyped. I mean, the reason why I brought it was for the hype, and I can tell you why. It's very unique. It is a scent that I have never seen done until Paris Carner clocked the fragrance and created their own version. By the way, if you can afford this, Paris Carner's Vue Elegante is a alternate dupe for this, and it will pretty much smell like a 90% dupe to this fragrance and give you the same vibe, you know, that honey lavender combo. I love this fragrance, and I feel like the special occasion to wear this could also be like a wedding. I think this is a real good wedding scent, and others might think that it's too strong. It is strong, but in the ultimate dry down, it is very ethereal like. It smells like dreamlike almost. This one is lavender done right, honey mixed in with a little bit of citrus, that underground dirt grit with the tobacco. I love it, and I do recommend it for someone that likes tobacco and they likes a little bit of lavender mixed with their honey. Now we're getting down to the wire. This is a very cheap celebrity fragrance. This is from Kim Kardashian. It's called Pure Honey. Now you can still get this fragrance. I will link it down below. I believe they have it at fragrancenet.com, but I will find it and I will link it down below. When I got this fragrance, I believe I paid only 30 bucks for it. But when you smell the scent on this fragrance, this might as well be a $300 perfume. It smells so good, so unique. It smells niche-like. This is what exactly the name it is. It is pure honey, like pure dripping literal sweet honey. Now this fragrance opens up with some white florals. You do get some freesia and you do get some rose, I believe, at the top. And then when it gets to the middle, you do get some beeswax, some honeysuckle is another white floral that's in here. And then in the dry down, oh my god, the dry down is where it's at. You do get that coconut, the musk, and the vanilla. Now this might seem like a tropical fragrance or something for summer and spring, but let me tell you, you can wear this year round. This is not that type of fragrance. Even though I know it has coconut in there, the honey is dense. It kind of makes it look like a fragrance that could be worn in the winter. And I've worn it in the winter, and when I tell you this fragrance performs, oh god, it performs magnificently. Like literally 9 hours on skin. It is just a honey fragrance that's a little more perfumey. So it's not like the other honey fragrances that can be literal honey. This is more of a perfumey kind of honey that is sweet with some florals, and it's just yummy on the skin. Now, when I got this fragrance, I got compliments on this. When I tell them who made the fragrance, I know a lot of people are not a fan of Kim Kardashian, but I'm gonna tell you, she really put her foot into this fragrance. This fragrance, I don't understand why it's not being hyped. It is a real good one. It's a contender. It's a great fragrance to own if you like a perfumey kind of honey that will smell sweet, that has a lot of florals in there. I enjoy it and I recommend it if you're looking for something different that is honey but in a perfume way. Next fragrance is from Carner, Barcelona. This is called El Born. Now this fragrance is a honey angelica forward fragrance, and it has fig in there. Oh my god. Now the fig is not your masculine fig. It's not Gris Charnel kind of fig. It's just a spiced fig that has that honey dripping over it. And then you do get some benzoin. Benzoin for me can kind of go both ways. It could be vanillic, it could be ambery at the same time. Oh my god. And it has Peru Balsam. Now I'm gonna tell you something. This Peru Balsam is probably the note that I can't get with. In this fragrance, it's well blended, that I only detected slightly a bit. Not like the last fragrance I talked about that had it heavily. I would say it's creamy, it's a little nutty. I pretty much think that it has either heliotrope or almond in there. I do get some nutty vibes here. I do get something citrus in there. It's possibly a bergamot to this fragrance. I'm not 100% sure. When I tell you this fragrance is 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10, guys. It is just something that I feel like if you are having a date night, this will be very perfect for. Like if you're going out with your significant other and they are the person that likes sweet fragrances, this will be a really great one to pull out. The angelica in this fragrance gives this fragrance a slight greenness to it, but not overwhelmingly green. It's just a slight, slight sharp note to it. I just can't stop sniffing the bottle. It's sexy, it's demure, it's alluring, it's intoxicating almost. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. And I recommend it if all that I said sounds good to you. The next fragrance is another fragrance that I've not seen too many people talk about. This is from Roberto Cavalli. This is called Florence Amber. Now this fragrance is a unique type of honey scent. It has some greenness in the top, smells slightly citrusy, slightly fruity, a little bit of wood, and then I feel like there's a patchouli in here, and then you get honey. The honey in here, oh, it's just a different kind of honey. It's not as sweet as the other honeys I've mentioned, but this one I believe has a quince for fruit. It is so unique. This one is a very unique fragrance. I don't know why people don't talk about this anymore. And I think there is some white floral in here. I believe I'm getting either a gardenia or a freesia note. This is just another everyday honey fragrance. Like I said, if you want a honey that is not too crazy, that's not too strong, will not kill someone, but will also pack a punch, then this is the one for you. If you tried Delox and you thought Delox was too much, this will be a perfect one to try out because it's honey, but it's not super crazy. It boggles my mind that they call it Florence Amber and there's not an amber note to it. But notwithstanding, it's a beautiful fragrance. It has great sillage. I would say more moderate than beast mode, and longevity is moderate. When I say moderate for longevity, it means that it's at least 6 to 7 hours on skin. But it's a really great fragrance. I feel like for what it is, it's another cheapie. It's another cheap fragrance that you can literally get anywhere. I think it's still being sold, so you can get this fragrance pretty much at discounters for a cheap price, like 40 bucks or so. I feel like that's how much I got it for. Again, this is Roberto Cavalli Florence Amber. Now I saved the best for last. And you guys know what I'm talking about. When I say the best for last, you guys have probably got tired of hearing this fragrance. There is no way I could do a honey bomb fragrance and not mention this fragrance unless I'm deluded. But I'm not deluded, so that's why I'm going to mention this fragrance. This, of course, is Bianco Latte by Giardini di Toscana. You guys need no introduction. Look at the dents. If you guys can see the dents actually, you can see it in person but not on camera. My dent is right here. And when I tell you this is a really big dent for someone that has over 600 fragrances, that tells you how much I love this fragrance to that. And this fragrance, when I say beast mode, I cannot call this beast mode. I should call it nuclear, like literally. One day I did a mistake of doing 10 sprays of this fragrance, and I literally got too many compliments, and some of them were like, this is too much, you know? And I had to dial it back. I had to just stick with 3 sprays. When I tell you this fragrance will leave the most beautiful cookie smelling sillage. And that's what I got. I got that I smell like cookies from an oven. When they smelled this fragrance, someone was asking me who has some vanilla wafers somewhere. And I'm like, vanilla wafers? They thought somebody had vanilla wafers or had some sugar cookies that came out the oven. That's what this fragrance smells like to them. This fragrance is one of the less priced niche fragrances you can get for full price that actually is cheaper than designer fragrances. I got this, I believe, of $155 or $150, and I pretty much spent $180 on Flower Bomb Tiger Lily. So I'm telling you, it's affordable. You can get it, okay? I know you guys love Middle Eastern, but we do have other categories that are cheapies that are good. I even added a lot of designer that are within good price range. This is a niche fragrance that's within good price range. I'm not going to talk too much or harp on this fragrance because I pretty much have talked about this fragrance till I was blue and black. This is a yummy honey ice cream kind of vanilla kind of fragrance. This fragrance deserves all the hype that it gets. It has caramel, it has coumarin, it has that honey, it has vanilla, it has some musk. This is another fragrance that makes you want to roll your eyes to the back of your head. The scent is 9 out of 10 for me. The projection, 10 out of 10. The sillage, 10 out of 10. The longevity, 10 out of 10. This lasts forever on the skin. I don't care how bad your skin eats fragrance. This fragrance will project off your skin. It's so beautiful. It's so sexy, so sweet and yummy. Smells like a dessert. If you have never got your nose on this, this is another fragrance that's not blind buy safe. Get your nose on it, smell it, and decide if it's for you, and then get the fragrance. If you are not like me and you don't like beast mode fragrances, stay away from this. This is not the fragrance for you. Choose any of the other ones that I've mentioned, but don't pick this one. This one is just nuclear, like I said. And I love it, and I still recommend it for all my honey bomb lovers that loves a beast mode honey fragrance. And that completes this video. I hope you guys enjoy all the fragrances that I've talked about throughout the video. If you like any of these fragrances, please leave me a comment down below. Let me know which one you've tried, and if you have another honey fragrance to recommend to me, also leave that comment down below. Don't forget to leave your fragrance of the day, because of course I do want to know what you guys are rocking, whether it's niche, designer, or celebrity, or Middle Eastern. And if you're new to my channel, you watch this video to the end and you haven't subscribed, what the heck are you waiting for? The subscribe button is down below. It's lonely. It wants you to click it. And if you're already a subscriber and you watch this video to the end, thank you guys so much for your love and support. Don't forget to drop me a honey emoji or a yellow heart emoji that signifies that you actually watched this video to the end and that you're a ride or die Tinu fans. Thank you guys so much for your love and support. I love you guys, and I will see you in another video. Bye.